December Miller County Commission meeting to order, and if we would, Mr. Allen, would you do the prayer for us?
Dear Lord, we come before you tonight. We ask, Lord, for your leadership, your guidance, and decisions, Lord, that we make regarding the county and also in our personal lives. And Lord, I ask, Lord, to be with the Jenkins family tonight with the passing of a loved one. Be with the Houston family, Lord. For Lord, they're hurting, and only you can give them the strength to go forward. Please, Lord, be with our country. I pray, Lord, that better times are ahead. Forgive us where we fail you. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We need to approve the agenda. We're gonna add Mr. Paul Fryer wants to say a little something about the P25 system, so we'll add him in. And I just need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Minutes, has everybody had a chance to take a look at the minutes? Make sure they all in order. If they're in order, I need a motion to approve them.
I approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Financial reports, if they're in order. I need a motion to approve.
Make it.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. You wanna go first, Mr. Paul? Are you ready to go, or you wanna,
Oh, I can say something whenever
you gonna be quick, or short?
I'll be brief.
All right, let's go ahead. We'll get you out the way then.
I just wanted to give you an update on the P25 radio grant, and you're probably all familiar with the term P25. I know I had a conversation with the sheriff and his predecessor about this years ago. It all started when Justin Bedwell was killed, Decatur County deputy, and we've been working on the situation since then to try to get the radio systems to mesh and so forth. So the bottom line is there's been a grant, and I think you know the big picture. The congressman got a congressionally directed spending thing in the Appropriations Act for I believe it's $3.9 million for the regional commission in Camilla to manage this grant to upgrade radios, and it looks like the participating counties at the final analysis are going to be Miller County, Bedford County, and Coffee County. And Coffee County is not in the 2nd congressional district, but it is in the regional commission service area. So that's who's going to get the bulk of the money. This is going to provide upgraded radios for your sheriff, other first responders. I'm not sure if it's going to be fire and
It'll be fire, EMS,
Fire,
sheriff department,
EMS.
and PD.
right. And so it took forever, I'll just say, to get this to the point it is. The federal government acts very slow, as you can imagine, but it is finally becoming a reality. The regional commission at a meeting about a month ago announced, and there were people there from USDA, that's where the grant's coming from, USDA, regional commission, and they signed off on it. It's all, put in place. And I got an email today from Suzanne Angel. Let me find it real quick. And Suzanne is the executive director of the regional commission. Y'all may know her. And she's got a lot of gray hair over this. And I've joked with her that when this is over with, she's going to need to retire. But what she says is she has been told that you can proceed with purchase of equipment. This is a reimbursement grant, okay? But I would say you got to be cautious about that because they have to consider a couple things. One is there's preferred vendors, Motorola and Southern Link, and I'm not sure which one you're going to
Motorola.
go with. And they're both on the state contract for that type of equipment. But there's also another requirement. There's a federal law called Buy America, Build America requirement. That's a law that was put into effect some years ago, that they need to be assured that this is U.S. made equipment. And I'm not sure what they define as U.S. made equipment, because you can buy a Ford or Chrysler vehicle and it's got an engine from Mexico and a transmission from Canada or whatever. So I'm not sure. I believe Motorola is still American made. I don't know, but y'all, Suzanne will work with you on those additional details. But the bottom line is it's going to happen, and it is necessary, and it's going to be a great improvement, I hope, to your communications for the sheriff and other people who need that. So that's the report.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now we got this a little bit, I forgot to do this. We want to present Mr. Alan Worsley with this plaque for his service.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir, for all your service. We appreciate everything you've done for the
Yes, sir.
county.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Stevie Jackson, if you want to come up and talk.
You just stand right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me give you one of these first. Did you want this here? Okay. I'm sorry I didn't have an overhead projector screen and all that kind of good stuff to keep y'all here for about 4 hours. So, I'm Steve Jackson. I am co-owner of Sawega Meat Company out in about 5 miles north of town. Y'all very well know we're the third owners of this place, and we bought it November the 1st of 2023, and our goal is to make it a destination place. I brought along with me Adam Cochran. Adam is with Home Oil, and the whole purpose for us to have this, or for us to be here tonight, and I want to say thank y'all for having me. I need to start back over and say thank you for having me, and thank you for I apologize, I wasted y'all's time last month. Doug and I got our wires crossed. I understand I was on the agenda and I didn't show up, and that was my fault. I didn't really know exactly when and where to be. He was gonna call me back, and he probably did. Truth be told, I carry 2 phones around, and I'm usually on one 99% of the time, if not the other one, so I apologize for that. No, what we're here tonight to discuss is, like I said, here, I thought I needed, we want to make our store. We have bought MSM Meat, and we, in the last 2 weeks, have put in a feed yard in the back. We're going to start feeding out cattle there. We have really accelerated what we're doing. I don't want to give you numbers because I don't want you to go, well, why in the world do you need us? But I need y'all. I need you in a bad kind of way. We want to put fuel tanks. Home Oil has committed to us to help us put fuel tanks in the ground out there and supply the need. As y'all very well know, if you've traveled from Bainbridge, Georgia to Casita, Georgia, there's really nowhere for a semi to pull in and get fuel. That's easy to access. Okay. And so we get a lot of Tallahassee traffic. We get a lot of Florida traffic. And in doing this, as I said, let me tell you what you're looking at first here. What you're looking at is a design layout by North Star Engineering out of Dothan, Alabama. The store is actually, everything that's in a darker shade of gray would be pretty much either in concrete or in asphalt. The store is obviously the big white, the actual processing plant in the store is the big white unit in the middle. The gas tanks will be in the front. The diesel tanks will be on the side. And the diesel tanks are designed so that there's a need for expansion, and there will be in a few years a need for expansion. We can go off to the south there and add on with no problem. But in doing so, we ran into a little bit of a challenge with the Georgia DOT. Took us a little bit to get a permit to widen the driveways, which we couldn't do anything till we got that permit. We now have that permit in place. But, the next step is when we brought DOT out to widen the driveways, we thought we'd be grandfathered into the fact we wouldn't need a deceleration lane coming out of, coming headed south. And, there's a little curve there right in front of, Mr. Herman Pickle, if y'all know where he lives. And, there's a little curve there, so you can kind of get up on the plant before you know it. And with as much traffic and Google using Google Maps, and they're trying to shove more I-75 units this way, coming up 27, they thought it would be coming up and down 27. They thought it'd be best if we have a deceleration lane. Well, the deceleration lanes are not cheap. You're looking at anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 just for the deceleration lane. The deceleration lane is going to be significantly important. We did not budget that. Neither one of us budgeted that, and it's extremely important that we get some support from the Miller County Commission. We would, I guess, just go ahead and blurt it out. We'd like for you to pay for it in some shape, form, or fashion. There'll be. What you're looking at the next page is kind of an overall summary. We had a third-party study done back at the first of the year, right after we bought it. And if you'll notice in the top paragraph, it says 9.5 acres. We actually have we bought all 35 acres out there. So it's not a misprint. At the time, 9.5 acres was all we had, but we acquired the other 25 around it to give us 35 acres. The next page you're looking at kind of gives you a little. So Home Oil is a marathon franchise. Is that how you say that? Would you be considered a franchise?
Yeah, they're a brand.
Okay.
They're a brand.
A brand, that's what I was, okay. We'll be a marathon brand out there, and I cannot tell you how many people have expressed interest in when are y'all getting fuel tanks? When are you getting fuel tanks? When Terry built this place, that was his goal, and his objective was to one day put fuel tanks in there. I don't think it ever got to that point. And then we think the viability of the business requires fuel tanks. I mean, we're doing a substantial amount of retail at the moment. Probably drop your chin to know that we don't get a whole lot of local support when it comes to meat and comes to, buying product every day out there. But the road traffic, any Saturday, any Friday you come through there, I would tell you probably 70% of our business is from Tallahassee. But we get a lot during the summer. We get a lot of beach-bound traffic, and we still do really well with the retail. If you'll turn to the next page, what I got is is kind of the rundown. So this particular third-party study is usually within plus or minus 10%. And the volume they're talking about us doing the first year would be somewhere around 71,000 gallons a month. Okay, and you go, well, what does that mean? When you start bringing that kind of volume into the county, y'all, we're not just stopping people to shop at Sowega Meat Company. We're stopping people. We're bringing them to Miller County as a whole, and that they're going to come through here, and if you put something nice out there, then they're going to want to know more about Miller County when they come through here. And the biggest thing is it's not so much the gas that's the driver, it's the diesel, because you're pulling a pile of diesel out of Florida coming into this county. And so I know you guys don't have I know we don't have a gas tax here or a fuel tax here, but there's so many more other things you're going to get the 4% tax of in the convenience store side. We don't want to be a convenience store, but that's what they compared us to, because I know you all know Strickland's or Salt Lick or something like that. I mean, we want to be very similar to that. The biggest difference is most of them have gone to a lot of box stuff. We're still processing as hard. So when we bought it, they did about 108 animals. We've done 560 animals to date. So it's pretty. We're killing ourselves to stay here. We'd like some help if we could get it. If you look down just a little bit below there, and I'm giving you rough numbers. So the convenience store sales above and beyond what we're doing right now, you're looking at the first year of it making about a $56,000 a month impact. and you say that's, you know, I mean, that's a lot of money. $56,000 a month, as I always say, makes the mayor run. It kind of gives us a chance to have a little breathing room. But we'd like some help. We need some help. And without saying it too harshly, this thing probably won't go unless we get something done with the deceleration lane. I mean, Kenny and my partner intended to be here tonight, but he also helps at the stockyard, and he called me. They ran a little late and apologized for not being able to be here tonight, but we have poured a lot of our, I don't know if y'all know how we acquired it, but there was a grant in place that the previous owners that collateralized the loan at the bank, and when we came in and bought it, it kind of got a little squirrely, and the Department of Community Affairs did a pushback on them with the grant because they were a nonprofit and we were for profit. Which a nonprofit doesn't mean you don't make money. A nonprofit just means you get a little extra tax incentive here or there. The DCA, Department of Community Affairs, did a little pushback and required us to pay back some back grant because their philosophy was they gave the money to a nonprofit, and that was their excuse to get out. So it wound up costing us a little more out of our pocket than we intended to the tune of about what this would cost. If it wasn't for that, we could survive it. And I just come to beg and plead and see if there's anything y'all can do to help us. We really appreciate what y'all have done, because with Nikki's fingers in my mouth whenever I was getting my teeth cleaned one day, I told her, I said, we need some help from Miller County because we weren't getting it from the city side. And she said, well, we'll help y'all. And y'all came out and visited with us, and I appreciate that. It means a lot to us. This county's got a lot of potential. We just got to push it forward, and we need your help to do that. That's pretty much all I have. All I have at the moment. If y'all have any questions, I know you. That's a lot to consume in a short amount of time. But if you got any questions you want to ask me now, or if you want to ask me later, please feel free to. I know I didn't expect an answer today. I just wanted to throw the ball out there. The only way we can lob it, the only way we can do it is lob it up and serve it up, and let you guys think about it and know and understand that we need some help. So.
All right. Well, we'll get together and we'll kind of talk and see, and we'll get with Doug and see what we can do and what we can't do.
But let me just go ahead and say this too. I talked to Gerald Green. Gerald's all in for supporting us. Gerald's an old family friend, but more than that, Gerald is a mover and shaker for us rural and south, this part of the country. And Gerald has supported our area like we expect politicians to. And Gerald's done a great job. And if I need to meet with any of y'all, or we need to meet with him, I think he'd support us any way he could. Again, I brought Adam along from Home Oil just so y'all to understand the partnership that we have, and I appreciate him being here tonight and his support. And again, if you got any questions, we'd be glad to answer.
He's already got a business in Colquitt, correct?
He does. He
Okay.
does.
Okay.
But
A lot of people might not know that, so that's right.
That's right. They do have a business here in Colquitt, and so they're huge supporters of the area, and and that's, you guys have got a really great thing going here with Swamp Gravy and going. If we can get this in the right direction with the fuel, as I think I told several of y'all that were there, our goal is to eventually one day put a 8 to 10 camper hookup out there, and then also to put a fulfillment center, because we want to ramp up our shipping, our online sales. That's going to be a key ingredient for us. We have a game plan in place. And Rome wasn't built in a day, but we need some support, and we appreciate y'all considering that.
All right.
For those that don't know, we bought Charborough Oil Company. We bought the card lock downtown. And our plan moving forward in Georgia is to grow. We also bought the Southwest Georgia Oil in Camilla from Chad Johnson. We bought their bulk plant there. Of course, we have Bainbridge as well. So our plans in the 5 to 10 year future are to grow in the Georgia market for sure.
we could be at the 100,000 gallons a month in 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years, if Google Maps continues, that's nothing more than the political people getting into Google Maps and shoving that traffic this way. We're in a nice area out there. It's very accessible, and right now our goal was 2 on-road fuels and 1 off-road fuel, so we would have off-road for local farmers and that kind of stuff. We've had several folks come to us and tell us we're buying from y'all when y'all get them put in. So we've got some traction, and I can't tell you how many times a week we get asked, when are you putting fuel tanks in? I said, well, your DOT's been your problem. So we appreciate any help, and like I said, I've probably taken enough of y'all's time. I just appreciate the opportunity to present this in front of y'all. And please come visit us and give us a call.
All right, appreciate it, Steve.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Are y'all okay if we leave?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I know you're not gonna make a move on tonight, but I strongly suggest everyone stop and think about this thing, with the taxes that we're facing. Where's the money gonna come from?
Well, I think that's what we'd have to discuss, I think, for sure.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. Thank y'all.
All right,
Yes, sir.
good night.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right. Old business, fueling center report.
Fuel is up, 14,000 gallons. So I estimated probably gonna be a little bit lower when the school kind of goes down and the buses stop a little bit, but we're sitting at 14,000 gallons, dispersed right now. No issues with the, fueling center.
All right, give us a little update on the shooting range.
So Sheriff Holt, Chairman County, and myself met with Gerald Green and the DNR supervisor, and Gerald had said that a lot of the school systems has been calling him, starting up a shooting teams, like skeet shooting team. And, you know, we thought about doing the phase 1, which was revamp the rifle range and the pistol range, but the state and DNR wants to go, phase 2 first, which is the skeet shooting. Mr. Gerald thinks that the state of Georgia, with the way Georgia's going with the gun legislation and gun safety, that we make it actually get them to pay the full amount for the phase 2 and then come back. He said it's phase 1, which is tearing down that mountain, is going to take some time because we got to get with the EPD and all the lead that's out there. We got to do the mitigation. So he said we'll just leave that up there. They'll come in and shape the berms and possibly start on phase 2 when they can find a good location. They're supposed to be scouting that location now. But that's going to pretty much be paid. And according to Mr. Gerald, it's probably going to be appropriated, so it's going to be 100% state funded. So.
All right, what about?
I guess they'll just let us know when we find something else out.
All right, school tax.
You and myself met with the superintendent and their chairman and kind of discussed that, and, you know, they're here tonight if y'all want to just kind of maybe discuss a little bit. Just kind of tell us what we kind of went over.
Appreciate y'all having us. I'm Michael Cowan. I'm superintendent of Miller County Schools. Been here about a year and a half. Got a couple of my board members here with me, Mr. Leroy Bush and Mr. Jason Cox. Doug and your chairman came and met with us earlier this week. I believe it was last week. Last week, and we sat down and discussed it. I really got three points I'd like to share with you when you're talking about a senior exemption for school property taxes. First, it comes down to a question of what type of community do you want to live in? I've seen communities, counties where they have done that exemption, and it's always been not only very detrimental to the school system, but it's also been very detrimental to the community. And in fact, if you look close, you'll find a county real close to us here that has that exemption, and the school system is flat broke, and the community is struggling. There's a very real correlation between the health of the school system and the health of the community. And I would just ask you, what type of community do you want to live in? Second, I'll tell you this, I'll use my family as an example, and I'm just gonna throw some numbers out here. This is probably a very conservative estimate. It takes the community, the school system, about $10,000 a year to educate a child. Okay? I've got 3 children. Okay? So if each child goes to school K through 12, that's 13 years. It's going to cost this school system, this community, about $130,000 to educate that child. So if I've got 3 children, then my family, it has cost this community about $390,000 to educate my family. Now, my school taxes, and I live out on Phillipsburg, I say my portion of the school tax is about $1,500. Okay? And so maybe closer to 2,000 right now. But if I were to live there for 30 years, I've only paid $60,000 in school taxes. Okay, so you're never really going to pay back all that money that it costs to educate that child. And the third thing that I'll say is, you know, school systems are being hit left and right now by the state of Georgia and the legislature. In particular, House Bill 581, which I know affects y'all too, as well as the city government. You know, that is a statewide homestead exemption. It is a cap on assessments based on inflation level. It's going to have a great impact on funding for the school system, for the county, and for the city in the future. You know, we were given the opportunity to opt out of that. And all school systems were given the opportunity to opt out of House Bill 581. Right now, the last I checked, about 75% of the school systems in the state of Georgia are planning on opting out of House Bill 581, which means their constituents, their county, is not going to get that statewide homestead exemption. I can tell you that our school board is not planning on opting out. We're not going to take that. It was voted on by the state. It was voted on by our county. It was approved, and we're not planning on opting out. Our community and our county and our taxpayers are going to get that savings from the state. So, you know, we've done real well. I've got a great board. They're definitely heading in the right direction. We've got a lot of very, very positive things going on in our school system. And financially, we're doing great. We have been able to take our millage rate down from 19.5 since when I got here, it was 19.5, and right now it's 16.5. So we're moving in the right direction. I would just caution you, when you start talking about an exemption for seniors, you know, we've got to get that funding from somewhere. And if there's an exemption for a portion of the community, you're going to have to make up that funding with the rest of the community that's left. So those are the points that I had given Doug and the chairman, and they asked if I'd share it. I appreciate y'all letting me come. If y'all have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
You asked what kind of community. I want a community that elderly people can afford to live in. We've got a 93-year-old, I got a 93-year-old mother-in-law, just like that man, Mr. Phillips, sitting right there. Her school tax was almost $1,000 this year. And first of all, let me, since we're on camera, I want to apologize to the taxpayer of this county. But I told a lot of people that the taxes were not going to be no different based this time other than he's going to have to pay the homestead exemption. So somebody made liars out of us. You know, her school taxes went up almost $500. We talking about people that are living on a fixed income. They can't pick up the phone and call Social Security and say, hey, they're going up on my taxes. I need more money. It don't work that way. But now, if people can't afford to live here, we got a big problem.
When's the last time they reassessed property?
This last year, ain't it?
Last year.
Because I can tell you, like my property, the assessment went way up. But I'll tell you this, I guarantee you I wouldn't have sold it for what they had it assessed last year.
Well, I tell you right now, if they'll pay me tonight what they assess mine for, I'll start moving more.
I can tell you, they missed 6 years straight of assessments.
Do I now?
They missed 6 years straight of assessments.
Why?
That's the tax assessor board. They should have been here to talk to us. Cause they wasn't here, but they missed 6 years. So the state of Georgia said, hey, you're only at 20-something%. You gotta be at 41%. So without, I think the first year was COVID. They said COVID, so we didn't want to put a break on. The second year they said was, well, we thought it was gonna be a short-term jump and then it would go back down and it didn't. So there's where the 6 years that was missed.
Well, all I know is I told people out there on the street who asked me from the information I was getting from the tax assessors. So they sit right in here one night and told that. And I say, I want to apologize to the people out there. But then like I say now, it is not right for people, you've got an aunt that's in the same boat.
100% correct.
It's not right.
I moved here about a year and a half ago. I can tell you, I bought my house for about $150,000 more than what it was assessed for. There was an assessment problem, but I don't have anything to do with assessments. Y'all don't have anything to do with assessments. We don't make the assessments. We change the millage rate, and our school board has dropped that millage rate and will continue to drop that millage rate and do everything that we possibly can to help out our taxpayers and spend this money financially responsible, fiscally responsible, okay? Again, about 75% of the county's school systems are opting out of House Bill 581. We're not. We're gonna let that go to the taxpayers. They voted for it.
The biggest problem is, there is more or less a good sized handful of people who pay the taxes in this county. The rest of them is a free ride. It's free ride. And like I say, it is hard, very hard to pay these high taxes. And with the amount of taxes people paying, it keeps people from wanting to move in here. That's my concern, is I'm just doing what I was asked to do to address it.
I can tell you this, my taxes went up a lot. My assessment went up, my taxes went up. But as far as city and county, did not go up quite as much because y'all dropped the millage rate, we dropped the millage rate, okay? I think you might be looking in the wrong place, particularly for people that live in the city, okay? We did drop the millage rate. Now, mine did go up. But what I'm telling you is I also have a very real understanding of what a school system and a community, how they work together. And when one's going good, the other one goes good, and one goes bad, the other one goes bad. You can look at some very, very close communities around us right here and see some very, very real struggles.
Now, I'm not saying y'all doing a bad job. Don't take
Oh, I know that.
I thank y'all for what y'all do.
But I'm saying when you cut that funding and you don't have those services to offer, and you're not able to pay the teachers to get those good teachers here to work with these kids, you're not able to offer the programs that's going to make these kids more successful, and you don't have the facilities that you need, you don't have all that. I'm telling you, I can show you, I'm not going to name names here, but if you look real close around us, there are some counties that the school systems have gone very far downhill. And you can watch the communities have done the exact same thing and followed the school system. And from what I hear, they're not places I'd want to live because of that. There's a very, very real struggle there, and there's a very real correlation between the school system and the community and how they work together. So I see the value in it. I definitely understand the taxpayer side of it. I'm doing it myself. If I told you what I was having to pay in January for taxes, you probably wouldn't believe it. But I'm gonna tell you this, I value a daggone good school system for this community. And so I'm gonna pay my part and do my part. Because it's that important to me. And I hope it's that important to everybody in this county, in this community. But I understand, I get that. But we are going to continue to do what we can to make it less and less of a burden on the taxpayers. We've lowered the millage rate. We're not opting out of 581. We're going to do everything we can. And we're going to try to do it the right way. And I've got some great board members to work with me.
Let me, what percentage of our budget, Michael, goes to payroll?
About 90%.
90% of every dollar we take in go to payroll.
And let me tell you this, a lot of that is not the salaries. The cost of our health insurance, and this is mandated by the state. A lot of this is state mandated. We do not control. Most of our costs is state mandated, and we do not control.
Yeah, I realize you ain't got, your hands are tied there.
Our healthcare costs and our benefits costs have gone through the roof. Okay, but I'll tell you this, we're not getting any more tax revenue from this county than we got last budget year. And our expenditures, our expected expenditures have actually gone down. So what this board has done is kept our revenue flat. We're not getting any more money from this county than we got last year. Not asking for a dime more, but our expenditures are going down. Even though we've had rising healthcare costs and other costs that have been laid on us by the state.
And we'd like to ask for that money back that y'all charge us to pick up our money. How much that is? 28,000, 30,000? What do the county charge us to, collect our taxes?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
I don't think we charge, do we?
2.5. Oh, yeah. What y'all charge us, Doug? You know that number.
She says 2.5% of the total.
Basically, you're talking what,
So Ms. Jennifer,
30,000, 40,000 dollars?
I'd have to get with Jennifer and say she would know more than that.
You get about that back then?
When you want it by tomorrow.
Well, I just want to say this. I mean, I don't think it's a matter at all that any of us care. I mean, we want Colquitt to, and we want our children to thrive. That's not it. The issue is when you've got, you know, an 80-year-old person that's living on a fixed income. How do they pay that? That's just our concern, because I want nothing more but for our children to thrive.
This ain't the first time it came up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen this happen in several counties, and I'm gonna tell you, it's been detrimental, not only for the school system, for the county, in every single instance. It really has.
Question from the floor?
Go ahead.
Where do you get that information?
Just from my experience.
Excuse me. My compliments on dropping the millage rate. We appreciate that, appreciate the job y'all doing. Nobody here wants a bad school system.
Right.
I'm 75 years old. You're
46. I'm 46.
46. You'll be 75 one day.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be in the situation I'm in where all I get is a social security check. I can't afford you. I have paid school tax since I was 18 years old. Never had a kid in the school. I paid for your education, for your children.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't mind. Still don't mind. But it's a matter of now, I can't afford you.
Mm-hmm.
I got to eat. Now I got a choice. I can either not eat, or I can.
Well, again, it goes to the question or the statement, first statement I made. What kind of community you want to live in?
I understand that. I understand that.
Listen, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I understand that. First off, let me say this. This board and your board has no interchange except budget time. This board represents the people of the county. Us. All we were asking for is to get it put on a referendum. Let's put it to the voters and let the voters decide. If there's enough over 65 years old to pass it, fine. If there's not, then I'm stuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help you all I can. I'll help you with your school system. But I can't afford what you're charging me now. Plain and simple. I wish I could.
Well, I appreciate you.
Never fussed about it
Right.
for 50 years, over 50 years. But now it's time to say something. And this board and your board are kind of sort of interwoven a little bit that not good either, but it's the way it is in a small county.
Yeah.
And I don't quite understand you saying that we're gonna have a terrible community if we don't pass this, if we don't keep it like.
No,
it
that's
is.
not what I'm saying.
Yes, it is.
No, sir. I said, you can see the correlation between how school system starts falling and the community does as well.
That's the difference in a PhD and a postdoc.
I don't have a PhD.
I'm sorry, master's, I'm sure. That's the difference. No reflection on that, no, that's no criticism, that's,
Right.
I don't mean a thing in the world by that,
Right.
except I'm just a poor old simple working man. And the bottom line is the bottom line. Now, you submit a budget, I'm assuming, to the county.
No, sir. They don't have anything to do with our budget.
No, I'm just saying,
We do
you
our own
tell them
budget.
what it's gonna cost you to operate, right?
No, they don't tell us.
No.
Okay. My mistake, I apologize for that, I'm in error. But I'm right about the part, I can't afford you no more, that's just the way it is.
All right, well, thank you for your comments. Any more discussion on the board? All right,
I appreciate y'all.
appreciate you.
If you got any questions, ask me. I mean, y'all can call me. You know, I'll talk to anybody about it. And, you know, I appreciate everybody in this community, what they've done. And, thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's move on to new business, county ordinances.
So in your green packet there, you've got all the ordinances that me and the Sheriff Holt's been working on. Some of them is road ordinances, a lot of them are public safety ordinances. That's just for you to kind of look over them. I want you to look over them, read them. If there's anything you want added or taken out, just let us know, and then we can look at them in January.
All right, the health insurance bank account, SPOS bank account.
All right, so we got a new SPOS referendum. We're gonna have to have it can't be in, gotta be a totally separate bank account, so I'm gonna have to open that. We're still sticking with the same health insurance we have with them better, but the people that were our broker, I guess is what you call them, we're not gonna go back with them. We're gonna use Madison Street, which is the ones that, anyway, it's a confusing thing, but they're gonna know how to do it better. So what I want to do, because the other people I wanna just let that bank account go out, and I wanna start fresh with a new one with,
Cause they drafted out of there or whatever.
so I just need y'all's, in the minutes where y'all say I can open those.
You need a motion to change checking
Need
accounts.
a motion to open a SPOS account and a new health insurance account.
I need a motion to open a new one and
A new SPOS account and a new health insurance.
a new health insurance account.
Well, I'll make it.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the first responder insurance.
All right, so this goes back to what we were just talking about, some things that the state of Georgia puts on us that we have no control over, so. I don't know what the House bill was, but they passed a bill where we have to provide all of our emergency services, which is, Sheriff's Department, which we don't have the police department, so only us would be Sheriff's Department and, 911 dispatch.
Mhm.
We have to provide them with PSTD insurance. And that's a county expense. So I've got the quote in there, and, all I need is a resolution signed, which is in your packet, and a, risk management first responder application agreement signed.
Doug, if you would, for the record, put the quotes in the amount it's gonna cost.
Okay, well, there really is no quote, it's because this is mandated, so it's, for all of ours is $4,973 a year. And that is for $2,000 per like event. So basically, if we had a bad, like the wreck that we just had, we had a dispatcher that was having trouble, they could go and get care and that insurance would pay for it. So that's pretty much, there's only one vendor, and it is through, ACCG Irma. Like I said, it's $4,973.
You need a motion to adopt that?
I'm gonna need, you're gonna need to, you don't have to read this resolution, you
Thank
just
you.
y'all have to make a motion to pass a resolution.
Everybody got that resolution?
It's in your packet, it basically talks about the state, it's in the official code, so it's chapter 85, title 36 of official Georgia code, which basically tells us we have to do that.
All right, so you want a motion to adopt that?
Adopt the resolution, we'll put that on the website, and then we need to sign this, you as the chairman need to sign this participation agreement.
All right, so we need a motion to adopt the PSTD program insurance.
That's correct. And then adopt the resolution and then sign the.
All right, so I need a motion to adopt that.
I make a motion.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. What you got, department report?
And then you need a motion to.
Yeah, they make a motion to sign the agreement. You make the motion for the agenda.
So we need a motion to sign the agreement.
Resolution, yes, sir.
I need a motion to sign the agreement with the ACCG or whoever it is. Irma. All right. I need a motion.
I make a motion.
Second.
I second.
All in favor?
Your department reports are in your packet. Miss Virginia's did come in late, so it's one by itself. And you got anything? I will say that we have hired Lawrence Martin with the rec department. And I'm getting nothing but compliments and great job
Good.
out of him. I mean, it's looking tremendously good out there.
Yeah, I stopped by today and talked to him, told him I appreciate what
He's
he's
a
doing.
great guy.
Sheriff, would you like to say anything since it'll be the last time we see you?
No, sir, I've enjoyed it, it's been fun, and I'm still available for anything y'all need.
And we appreciate your service. Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Anybody? Nobody? Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.